Thank you for joining me on Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 171, Clothes Wars. Let's be truthful. What you wear and how you wear it actually says a good bit about you. When a kid is little, they don't get to choose what they wear. If you put them in overalls and a t-shirt, that's what they're used to wearing. If you put them in a pair of jeans and a flannel shirt, that's what they're used to wearing. You put them in cute little pinafores and bobby socks and cute little shoes, that's what they're used to wearing. You have control over what they wear when they're little. As soon as they're 3, 4, 5, they have something to say about what they want to wear. And it gets to be a bigger thing the older they get. You might have strong opinions about the kinds of things that your kids should wear. And that might be determined by whether or not they go to a public or a private school, by your socioeconomic status, by the kind of job that you have. There are a lot of things that influence what you think is appropriate for your child. And the two of you and your child, might have strong differences of opinion. If you live on a ranch in Montana, but your daughter always wants to wear these frilly, lacy, girly dresses, that might be a little bit of a conflict, especially if you expect her to muck out the stalls. She actually might be better off in a flannel shirt and a pair of jeans and a pair of dirty old cowboy boots, but she might not like wearing them. If you're a race car driver or a race car mechanic and your kid always wants to wear khaki dockers and a white shirt, but he wants to come down to the track and he's going to always have oil and grease and grime all over his clothes, not to mention all the dust, that really might not be a good choice for the two of you, and you might butt some heads about this. The point being, you can have some serious clothes wars with your children. What kind of clothing do you want your kid to wear? I'm going to start off by saying this. It is something that needs to be negotiable. In other words, I don't believe that a mom or even a dad should be going shopping for their kid when they're 14 or 15 years old and dictating what that child's supposed to wear. I think that's not a good thing at all. I think a child needs to make choices and have some input into what they're wearing because, after all, that's an expression of their individuality. They're certainly entitled, I believe, in a healthy way, to express themselves by some of what they wear. Okay, so say you have a daughter and she's pretty bohemian in her style. She wants to wear these long, flowy, multicolored, multi-tiered skirts and a peasant blouse that's embroidered. And you're much more of a business suit, classic tailoring kind of person. You're going, where did this even come from? I mean, how did this happen? Well, let's be truthful. Occasionally, especially young people, anywhere from 12 to 20, sometimes want to dress the complete opposite of how their mom and dad dressed just because that's what they want to do. They don't want to look like their mom or their dad. Okay, that's fine. If you're always wearing a business suit and a buttoned up collar and a tie and your kid wants to run around in jeans and a polo shirt, great. What's the big deal? And these are the kind of things people fight about a lot. And believe me, I know. I've heard it happen. It's not really worth a war. I will say this. If your child, especially your daughter, wants to walk out of the house in a skirt that's 1/2 of an inch below her bottom and a shirt that's cut down to here, showing everything in the whole wide world to everybody, then, especially as a dad, I believe it's completely appropriate to say, young lady, you're not wearing that. You're dead serious not wearing that. You don't know the ways that guys think, and I do. And you're a beautiful young woman. You are not going to dress in such an immodest manner that's going to cause trouble to other people who are looking at you. When she gives you the whole, Dad, this is super cute and I can't believe it, then you actually need to get your wife involved and say, sweetheart, and make sure you're on the same page, incidentally, before you have this talk with your daughter. But, sweetheart, really, do you think this is an appropriate thing for our daughter to wear? And if your wife doesn't get it, then I guess you need to get a little more graphic with your wife and helping her understand that that is only going to cause trouble and send a wrong message out into the world when your daughter walks out the door dressed, or perhaps in some sense undressed, in that manner. If there's anything that used to make me wild, it would be going to church on Sunday morning, have a young woman go up to the altar for communion. She already has her thing cut down to here, then she bends down to receive communion. Come on, mom and dad. This part is probably worth the battle, just so you know. You need to help them understand what is and is not appropriate. With that being said, okay, so you're going to go to a funeral and your son wants to wear these hacked up, disgusting, very old, dirty jeans and some filthy flannel shirt. It's like, no, you're going to go change your clothes because you're going to show a level of respect to the person, your cousin or your friend, whose funeral we're going to attend. You're going to at least wear a decent pair of jeans and preferably a pair of dress pants and a clean, appropriate dress shirt. You're going to look respectable while we go to this. The same thing is true about what young people wear to church or what they would wear to a party. I grant you, I just saw a homecoming photo. I thought I was going to fall off my chair at the things some of those young people were wearing to homecoming. Just because everybody does it does not make it a good idea. So I believe it's really appropriate to say to your child, well, how would you like to set the standard? Why don't you be the best dressed person in the room? It shows self respect, it shows respect to other people, it shows that you're a person with a certain level of class or of social standing when you dress appropriately and nicely. There isn't a single thing wrong with being the trend setter. In fact, I encouraged my kids about that quite a bit when they were younger. And I would truthfully say that both of my sons dress very neatly, though they have a very different style from each other. And my one son will hardly ever be seen unless he's wearing a suit. That's just who he is. He really does like to look very nice, and he generally portrays that sense of himself in what he's wearing. Help your children also to understand their own coloration and what looks good on them. If you have a girl who's already very pale and a very pale blonde, you want her to learn that she's most likely a summer. And she should wear soft pastels and flowing fabrics and kind of flowing styles. That's probably going to be the most attractive thing for her to wear. Even help them contend with their own shape. Not everybody is a size 2. Someone who's a little bigger can get away with certain kind of clothing that thinner people can't. Taller people can wear different styles than shorter people wear. Help your child to develop a sense of style and a sense of impact visually by knowing their own body type and their own coloration and maximizing on that. Do everything you can to help your child look great and to feel good about their wearing. Try to avoid clothes wars where you can. And some of that starts off by teaching them when they're young how to feel good about themselves, feel great about what they're wearing and the way that they look, and the image that they're projecting to others. And do your best to help your child be as stylish and as in vogue and really and truly as fashionable as they can be or as they desire to be. This is a really fun part of being a parent, going shopping and helping them try on lots of different things and develop that sense of who they are. And it's a great thing to be a part of that with them. My challenge question for you today is, do you fight with your kids a lot about their clothes? Why? Because they're really dressing inappropriately? Because they're dressing really immodestly? Because they aren't demonstrating to the world who they are by their clothes? Or just because you want to fight about it? Pick your battles, mom and dad. Make them worth it when they happen. And help your child really have a great time looking beautiful, looking handsome, looking presentable as they bring themselves into the world in light of what they're wearing. I hope y'all have a great day together today. Thank you for joining me on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble And you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.